Welcome to Pop Culture Icons. I'm your host, Maya Starr. Today on Pop Culture Icons. Ever wonder how the most celebrated actress of our time still wrestles with the sting of early rejections and the weight of a legacy that almost crushed her? Today, we explore how Meryl Streep turned crippling self-doubt into a superpower, and what her journey can teach you about finding strength in your own vulnerabilities. The stage lights cast harsh shadows across Meryl Streep's face as she stands alone in the wings. Her fingers trace the worn edges of a script, and in her eyes you see something unexpected: vulnerability. Not the carefully crafted kind she's portrayed in countless roles, but raw and real. How can someone with 21 Academy Award nominations still harbor such deep-seated doubt? The answer lies in understanding that her greatest strength emerged not from conquering her insecurities, but from learning to harness them. Picture yourself in a stark New York audition room, 1975. Young Meryl stands before a panel of casting directors, her heart pounding against her ribs. The words slice through the air like shrapnel. You feel the sting of it, the way such casual cruelty can lodge itself in your chest and stay there. But watch closely. Notice how she straightens her spine, how her jaw sets with quiet determination. This moment isn't about failure. It's about the choice that follows, to let others define your worth or to define it yourself. In Summit, New Jersey, a young girl sits apart from her peers during recess. While others chase and shout, she watches, studies, absorbs. You might recognize this solitude, this feeling of being somehow different. But look at how young Meryl transforms her outsider status into a superpower. Every gesture she notices, every conversation she overhears becomes fuel for understanding human nature. Her sensitivity, often dismissed as weakness, is secretly becoming her strength. The transformation begins with Kramer versus Kramer. Meryl doesn't just play Joanna Kramer, she excavates the character's soul. You see her disappear into the role of a mother wrestling with societal expectations and personal fulfillment. The performance wins her first Oscar, but the victory carries a weight. Critics begin to circle, questioning whether she can sustain such intensity. The spotlight that once seemed warm now feels scorching. You understand this paradox, how success can amplify your inner critic rather than silence it. Then comes Sophie's Choice. Watch as Meryl immerses herself in the role of a Holocaust survivor, learning Polish, studying trauma, living with the character's grief until it seeps into her bones. The preparation is relentless. You witness her pushing past exhaustion, past comfort, past what seems humanly possible. This isn't about winning awards anymore. It's about the responsibility she feels to honor real human experiences through storytelling. The pressure is immense, but so is the purpose. The accolades pour in, but something shifts. Each new role brings heightened expectations. You feel the weight of it as Meryl navigates the 1980s and 1990s, choosing projects that challenge both herself and audiences. The critics who once praised her versatility now question her choices. The very qualities that set her apart become targets for criticism. You recognize this pattern, how excellence can become a cage of others' expectations. If you're enjoying Pop Culture Icons, please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code for our free 7-day email course, The Fame Formula. Discover how unknowns like Elon, Taylor Swift, and Beyoncé became cultural phenomena. Now, back to the episode. Watch what happens with The Devil Wears Prada. Meryl transforms into Miranda Priestley, proving that vulnerability can wear Prada and speak in whispers sharper than shouts. The performance stuns critics who thought they had her figured out. You see her eyes light up in interviews as she discusses finding humanity in a character others dismissed as merely villainous. This is the power of refusing to be boxed in, of continuing to evolve even when the world thinks it knows all there is to know about you. Behind closed doors, the struggle continues. Even as she collects her third Oscar for The Iron Lady, doubt lingers. You hear it in her voice during acceptance speeches, see it in quiet moments between scenes. The fear of not being enough never fully disappears. But here's what makes her story extraordinary. She doesn't wait for the fear to vanish. She acts through it, creates despite it, uses it to fuel deeper understanding of the characters she portrays. Now, decades into her career, Meryl Streep has redefined what it means to succeed not despite your insecurities, but because of them. Her story isn't about becoming fearless. It's about learning that your sensitivities, your doubts, your peculiarities, these aren't obstacles to overcome. They're instruments to master. This brings us back to that quiet moment backstage where we began. The script in her hands isn't just paper and ink. It's another opportunity to transform vulnerability into connection. To take what makes her different and use it to touch something universal. Your story may not play out on cinema screens or earn Academy Awards, but the fundamental truth remains. Your perceived weaknesses contain the seeds of your greatest strengths. The question isn't whether you can eliminate your doubts. It's whether you can learn to work with them, through them, because of them. Look in the mirror. What part of yourself have you been trying to overcome instead of understand? What sensitivity have you labeled as weakness instead of recognizing as a gift? This is your challenge. To stop waiting for perfection and start using everything you are, especially the parts that make you different, to create something meaningful. Because in the end, as Meryl shows us, the mask is never truly off, but perhaps it never needed to be. The real art lies in learning to use every part of yourself, even the shadows, to light the way forward. The stories do echo in ways we never imagined. Now it's your turn to make them resonate. On the next episode of Pop Culture Icons, imagine if our leading lady's journey of embracing vulnerability could inspire a man who spent his life battling his own demons behind a stoic facade. In this week focused on drama's legendary figures, we've explored Meryl Streep's strength in her struggles. Now, get ready to meet an actor who's quietly carried the weight of greatness, success, and identity for decades. Denzel Washington's story is about to challenge your perception of power, self-doubt, and what it truly means to leave a legacy. Don't miss this incredible tale of a man whose quiet strength might just reveal something new about Meryl's own journey. Please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code or follow the pinned link to get our free 7-day email course, The Fame Formula. 7 days, 7 brilliant tactics. Learn the mindset to go from invisible to influential using the dark arts of fame engineering. Click the video that just popped up to watch the next one in this series. Or for episode summaries, behind-the-scenes info, and more, go to daily8.com/PCI. Thanks for watching.